Are you planning a renovation but unsure where to start? In this video, I'll show you how to build a professional renovation timeline that keeps everything on track using the exact spreadsheet we use at TWMH Developments. Stay tuned to learn our secrets to smooth, stress-free projects. Whether you're managing a small refurb or a large-scale build, a structured timeline is essential to keep your project running smoothly. Without it, you're risking delays, confusion, and costly overruns. Let's make sure that doesn't happen. First, you need a full breakdown of the tasks. Next, you need to allocate time for each of those tasks. This might involve the collaboration with your build team, the electrician, the plumber, the plasterer, to understand fully how long it's going to take them to do the tasks so you can allow them enough time on the program to actually do the work. Also, to ensure materials arrive on time, and most importantly, consider the dependencies. For example, you can't have a wall plastered and then expect the electrician to chase the wall out and install new electrics in the wall just after it's been plastered. You need to do the electrics first and then plaster it and make it good afterwards. Let me show you the exact tool we use to keep our projects running smoothly. This is our Program of Works spreadsheet, tailored for renovations of any size. You see here, this spreadsheet is one that I've done for a client of ours. It's going to be a commercial to residential conversion. We're taking a building and creating 3 flats. It involves the demolition of a small existing extension and a much larger extension being created. Down the left hand side here, you'll see all the tasks that need to be done, and they're roughly in order of the process that the build kind of needs to go ahead. And then from left to right, we have the weeks. I tend not to book anything in on the Saturday and Sunday. They can be catch-up days for the guys if they're running a little bit behind schedule. First of all, we start with the site establishment, setting up our welfare, our office on site, making sure we've got the correct signage up, all that kind of good stuff. Then we've got an asbestos survey happening. Now, depending on the results of that asbestos survey, it may well be that the program moves along a little bit in regards to the timeline so that we have time to actually remove the asbestos if any is found. Then we isolate the services. We provide a temporary water supply and a temporary electrical supply for the guys to use. Then we can, with good knowledge, allow them to carry on their works in perfect safety if they're drilling holes or taking walls down, knowing that the electrical cables or the water services that are actually in those places are actually dead. Then we go week 2, we start the actual demolition. We've got 3 weeks allowed for demolition. In week 4, in the last week of demolition, we've got some foundations being dug for the new extension. Then we move into actually week 5, we move into actually building and constructing. Week 5, we start doing the brickwork. But you'll notice that I've got another blue line further down here. That is first fix joinery. You may well be asking, well, if we're only starting to lay bricks in week 5, how can we be doing timber work in week 5? Well, that's because the joiners will be working in the existing building while the bricklayers are outside laying bricks. They'll be nice and warm inside doing the new internal stud walls, new staircases, that type of thing that's needed to be done. You'll notice that the second week that the joiners are in week 6, the electrician starts. That's because the electrician has to rewire for 3 new flats, and he'll be able to start running wires in existing walls and also in the new studwork walls that the joiners will be creating. First fix plumbing doesn't actually start all the way until week 8, and that's because the plumbing within the building itself is generally in the right location, so there's not an awful lot of upheaval that's going to be needed for the plumber. It's just more or less the layouts within the rooms themselves that needs to be adjusted. Week 9, we have the roof going on the new building with windows and doors going in, which is when we start putting plasterboard on those stud walls and filling the chases in the existing brick walls that are going to be the external walls that are still staying. Then we have rather a lot of plastering that will be going on. Nothing else is really planned while the plasterers are there. I like to give them plenty of room. Any mess they make, it's theirs. They can clean it up. no one's in their way. It's the best way to get them to work most efficiently. Then after that, we're going to level the floors if there's any floor leveling that needs to be done, and then we are going to install the kitchen. Some people might have the decorators in before we start putting the kitchens in, but I've decided I am not going to do that. We have got bathroom and kitchen installation going on there in week 14 and 15 before second fix joinery starts in week 15. Skirting boards, door architraves, that type of thing needs to go there on that nice new plaster that the guys are putting over here. Then we'll get the decorators in, and the decorators will have a good long patch at that. The last week the decorators are in, I'll get my second fix electrics done, putting on the socket faces, putting on the switch plates, that type of thing. For finally, we're going to clean it, and we're going to handle any snags that the client has picked up. As you'll know from our other videos, we're constantly checking the quality of the work as we're going along. Now that you've seen how we put together a successful renovation timeline, it's time to start planning your own project in this way. The benefits of doing this mean that all the trades have clarity over the period of time that they have to do their tasks, and the dependency. If the electrician doesn't get finished, he can see clearly that the guys coming to fit the plasterboard cannot get on with their job. Suddenly it doesn't become an arbitrary period of time, it becomes personalised, that they're affecting somebody else and how they're going to work. This is why the programme of work should always be visible on site for everyone to see. If you'd like a copy of our template or need help managing your next renovation, then please reach out to us at TWMH Developments.